Good evening, everybody. Are you all in your pajamas ready to go to bed? Are your pajamas warm and cuddly? Because it's December out there now, and it's getting cold, you might have noticed. Do you have nice warm blankets to bundle up? You need to get all snuggly in bed and you just want to stay there in your soft pillows. Well, I've got a story today about putting that cold winter wind to bed. Do you think you could do that, put the wind to bed? Well, this is a story about exactly that. It's called Goodnight Wind, a Yiddish folktale. Yiddish is a Jewish culture that developed in Central Europe. We've talked about them a few times if you've ever watched the Mundo Monday videos. This story has been retold by Linda Elovitz Marshall and illustrated by Maelle Doliveux. That is a French name, and I don't pronounce French very well. Goodnight Wind. Let's see. Winter wind worked hard all season long, blowing away leaves, preparing trees for coats of snow and ice. Wind blasted snow across fields and roads, sculpting drifts for children to play in. Whoosh! Now wintertime was almost over. The tired wind shuffled into town, searching for a place to rest. With long, cold fingers, wind tapped at the windows of cozy homes. But inside, people only shivered and drew their blankets closer. So, winter wind nestled into a chimney. Whoosh! Until a warm spring breeze chased it away. Winter wind huffed off to a field, settled under a tree, and tried to sleep. "Youch!" grumbled the tree. "Something icy is freezing my roots." "Don't be angry, tree. It's just me, wind. Remember when I blew away your leaves, getting ready for winter? I'm old now and tired and in need of a place to rest." "I too am tired," the tree replied. "It's been a long, cold season. And if I don't take care of my roots, I may not live through spring. I cannot help you, wind. Down the road is a big rock. Perhaps you can rest there." Winter wind drifted toward the big rock, lay down, and rested. "Yikes!" shrieked the rock. "Who's lying on me?" "Just me," Winter Wind sighed. "An old wandering wind searching for a place to rest." "What?" exclaimed the rock. "You can't just throw yourself on someone like that. You need to ask permission. As for me, I'm cold and dry, ready to crack, and you come along and plop yourself on me? Off with you!" Winter Wind pushed off, trudging along the road. When at last a country inn appeared, Wind blew open the door and whoosh, swept inside. "Out!" shouted the innkeeper. She slammed the door shut. Look at the mess the wind is making in there. Angry winter wind blasted out across the fields, crying like a child, howling like a dog, wailing like a cat. With sleeves rolled and feet stomping, wind whipped up a whistling, screeching blizzard. "Take that!" shrieked wind, "and that, and that!" Snow hurtled to the ground and gusted back to the sky, whirling in huge white sheets. Wind blasted mountains of snow onto coastal villages and inland towns. Wind pounded against the windows of cabins, cottages, and mansions. Shutters closed, doors slammed. All around, darkness fell. But not a soul could sleep. In a small mountain cabin, a frightened little boy cried and cried. His sister wrapped herself in a blanket, took a deep breath, threw open the door. "Wind," she called, "you're scaring my little brother. Stop pounding on the windows." Winter Wind heard and felt sorry for the girl and her brother and stopped pounding on the windows. Instead, Wind howled into the chimney. The little boy cried louder. His sister ran to the fireplace, peered into the chimney, and shouted, "Stop!" But Winter Wind blew snow in her face. "Wind is acting like a tired, angry baby," the girl told her brother. The little boy wiped his eyes and asked, "Maybe Wind needs a nap." His sister smiled. "Good idea," she said. "I know just the place." They put on their coats and went outside. "Come, Wind," the girl said. "We know where you can rest." Hearing this, Winter Wind grew quieter. The snow stopped falling. The children led Wind to a cave. Inside, the little girl piled leaves to make a bed. "Leaves are nice for sleeping on," she said. "And for jumping in," the little boy added. "Thank you for blowing them from the trees." "And for making snowdrifts," said his sister. Winter Wind smiled, and like a tired baby, curled up to sleep. "Good night, Wind," said the girl. "Sleep tight," said her brother. Spring passed. Summer arrived. The days grew long. When it was too hot to play outside, the girl and her brother visited the cool cave to check on their friend. "Shh, quiet," they whispered. "Don't wake the wind." Fall returned, and Winter Wind awoke. Feeling fresh and young again, Wind blew away leaves, preparing trees for ice and snow. And when winter came, Wind blasted snow across fields and roads, sculpting drifts for children to play in. Whoosh! The end. Now, if that wind can curl up and go to sleep, I think you're ready to too. So grab your warmest blankets, curl up inside them, and good night. We'll see you next week.